Hey, how are you today? Hope you're having a good one. I certainly am. I'm Andy. If you're new, please hit the subscribe button, okay? It helps the channel out no end. And give me a thumbs up if you like this video. We'll see what happens as we go on. I hope you like it. Today I'm going to talk about Ascended Masters and the light and all the different traditions and how they actually all come together, how they actually all mean one thing, really, at the end of the day. And, of course, we'll do some tarot cards as we go along. We're also actually going to do some oracle cards today. And I want to talk a little bit about Saint Bernadette. And I filmed a bit in the car the other day when I was wearing different clothes. So none of it really adds up, you know, that's the bottom line. But Saint Bernadette, very interesting lady, and I just think she illustrates the way that there is only one truth, there is only one light. When you actually, you know, look up and engage with the universal energies and what the whole thing means and what it's all about. And, you know, some people think, well, the churches are terribly wrong, and other people think, well, you know, tarot readers are evil, and how could anybody possibly sort of read cards? It's all linking to the wrong energy. You know, half the world thinks one thing, the other half of the world thinks another thing. That's a fact of life. But Saint Bernadette, and actually just about all the Catholic saints, have some real kind of power, real power. And I'm sure that that is because in so many ways they are ascended masters. So one of the decks I'm going to use today is actually, it's very similar to the old Ascended Masters deck that you might remember by Doreen Virtue. It's Keepers of the Light by Kyle Gray, and we will do some tarot cards as we go on to get some significance and to see what we mean by it all. But I'm just going to pull three cards from this deck basically to get us started and see what the higher energies have got in store for us, because we've just been through that big solar eclipse. We've just had that new moon, which is actually a lull of energy, and there wasn't much energy about, but that's kind of the whole point. It creates a blank page for us to write on. So what are we going to write on that page? Well, I'm sure we'll become more aware of that as we go through the next few days, as we come up to half moon. And half moon, when she's halfway up, 50% full on her way to being full moon. Half moon comes on the 21st of December, which is the same day as that big Saturn and Uranus conjunct up in the sky there, which is going to cause a big bright star, similar to the Star of Bethlehem, actually. In fact, some say it's the same alignment. I'm not too sure because I'm not too well up on history here. But anyway, we'll find out what the light's doing, what the light is trying to tell us. First card I've brought out today, Bridget. This is one of my favourite cards, and she came out in a reading I did just a couple of weeks ago, actually, and she's come out since then in private readings. And Bridget is saying, inner strength, move back to wholeness, recognise that you have the power. A great many of us who do card readings or watch card readings or listen to readings, or, you know, for whatever reason, have an interest in psychicness, that whole kind of realm of things. It's because there are uncertainties in life, and everyone has their own different way of coming to terms with those uncertainties. Religion is certainly one of them. But looking at the psychic side of things and feeling the energy of the universe is another one. And I would suggest, friends, it's actually a more reliable one. That's how it seems to me. So move back to wholeness, recognise that you have the power. And we put our trust in all kinds of godlike things. We put our trust in the universe and the angels and the saints. And that is actually a very good thing to do. I'm not, you know, criticising that at all. But we must also recognise that we have the power within ourselves. That's the way we're made. We are actually all linked up to these amazing universal powers. That's what they're there for. That's how it works. Because as well as being out there in the universe, all those energies have a place in our heart, a place in our mind, and a place in the whole body, which seems to be full of cells of one kind or another, which can actually think somehow. So moving back to wholeness and recognising that you have the power, as Bridget is saying to us here, is actually, it's a great source of protection as well as a source of strength, you know, because the more we're in ourselves, the more we believe in ourselves, the better life tends to go, because people just know they can't put one over on us, or they might, you know, they might try, they might even succeed in putting one over on us, but we always come back. We always fight our way back because we recognise that we have the power. And that's what Bridget is asking you to recognise today, dear viewers. Okay, so let's see what comes out next. Let's have a shuffle in this deck. It's a beautiful deck, this. And I love the back of this card. These cards, they've all got the same back on. And it just shows the Vesica Pisces in 2 or 3 different ways. You know, it's where the 2 circles cross over. And this looks like, you know, a portal of life. This is where ideas and people are birthed from. It's all the same thing. It's all the same energy. So what's coming out next? Here we go. Sanat Kumara. And I'm glad he came out, actually. I've got a new studio light to try and kind of enhance things a bit. And if I just look up, you can see it's one of those ring light things which puts circles in your eyes. It makes you look kind of crazy. So I'm activating my new light today. So that's him in a very literal sense. But he's asking you guys to activate the light within yourselves as well. He says, light activation, shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. So this has a lot to do with the idea of believing in yourself. And that really is what activates the light, because again, we've got all these amazing forces within us, as well as them being things we kind of pray to up in the sky. We've got this within us. We can actually make it real. So your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. What do you think when you look at this card? What do you think, friends, when you just look at life, look at the world around you and wonder what's going on? Your inner guidance will tell you, and your inner guidance is going to be right. You know, that is really always how it works. And something they teach us as we come into psychic circles and spiritualist circles and things is that when you're doing psychic work, ideas come to you, you know, because the spirit guides and all that psychic energy speaks to the subconscious mind, and we have to learn to bring it to the front. And it's always really the first thing you hear is actually the answer to the person's question, or whatever the truth is. The next thing that comes into your mind is actually your front of house brain trying to rationalize things. And 9 times out of 10 it rationalizes things by saying that can't be possibly right. That was just the first idea that came into your head. And that's the thing to go with. So Sanat Kumara there is actually kind of really showing us that we have that light within us and we can actually trust it. And that's a lot to do with what Bridget was saying as well. So next card, Holy Amethyst. And it says Divine Alchemy. This is the last of the 3 oracle cards. We'll do some tarot in a tick, okay, but I really want to focus on this. You'll see where I'm coming from. Stay with it. It's all divine energy. It's all psychic stuff. It's all the truth. It really is. Holy Amethyst, Divine Alchemy. Move beyond current challenges and focus on what you desire. Can you read that down there? Or has my camera flipped it back to front? It probably has, because cameras are like that. I should check. I should know more about that. But there you go. That is my current challenge. And I'm moving beyond it here and now because I'm making a video anyway. And goodness knows, YouTube throws up enough challenges as well. It probably challenges you watching stuff as much as it does challenge me uploading stuff. Oh, and by the way, guys, actually, YouTube have announced recently they are going to start putting ads on videos that aren't monetized. And one of the blessings of having a small channel that isn't monetized yet is that I can kind of talk to you without someone suddenly bursting in and say, hey, buy this smartwatch, or hey, do you want some tomato ketchup? And I'm afraid that's going to be changing. That's just the nature of life. But if you see ads on my videos, it's not because I put them there, okay? I absolutely promise you that. There goes the phone, excuse me. And that phone call actually just showed me the good side of YouTube. That was a scammer working out of a call centre somewhere in India, somewhere around Delhi or possibly Calcutta. And he started reading out this script telling me that there's problems with my broadband connection. And I know it's a scam because I watched several videos by people who, they call them scam baiters. And I know the script, you know, I've heard that script so many times in YouTube videos. So that's just saved me getting scammed. I'm rather pleased about that. So hey, there you go. There's the positive side of YouTube. There is the plus side of it. And another plus side of YouTube is we can get the word out about stuff like this. So that third card, move beyond current challenges, focus on what you desire. And it's holy amethyst. There's great healing in there, focusing on what you desire. It isn't a selfish thing. There's nothing wrong with it. The more we kind of focus on those things, the better we are at being ourselves, the more we are actually in ourselves as people, and the more we can actually do for others then, which has got to be good news, hasn't it? Anyway, a couple of weeks ago, I unboxed 2 tarot decks, Tarot del Fuego, and this one, the Ancient Tarot of Marseilles. And I haven't done a reading with this one yet, so I'm going to do a 3-card tarot spread very shortly. But first I want to talk about Saint Bernadette, okay? And I'm sure she's as much an ascended master as she is a saint. She's a very, very great influence. Anyway, take a look at this and we'll be back with some more cards very soon. Saint Bernadette is a case in point. She had this vision in Lourdes, which is a famous healing place in France, in Europe. And she had visions from quite a young age of a lady who appeared to her, and the Roman Catholic Church sort of got in there and got involved. And one of the main reasons for that, the sort of the hook, as it were, that got the Roman Catholic Church interested, was that one of the messages that the lady who appeared gave to, well, she wasn't a saint at that time, she was Bernadette Soubirous, and the lady said to Bernadette that, she said, "I am the Immaculate Conception." And the church tried to get Bernadette to change that story, because the Immaculate Conception is something that happens to somebody, rather than something that the person is. It's a bit like me saying I am a piano lesson because I can play the piano, if you see what I mean. But nevertheless, that is what Bernadette Soubirous said that the lady said to her. And Bernadette would never take it back. But eventually, because the Immaculate Conception had been mentioned, and probably because, I don't know, maybe not because there was money in it, they were a kind of a poor people and very devout Roman Catholics, but I suppose because there was power in it of some kind, the Roman Catholic Church wanted to take it over. And Bernadette Soubirous, who at the time all these things happened was unable to read and write, and actually was having trouble learning her catechism. At the time, she sort of went along with it, you know, and she ended up moving into a monastery where she lived for the rest of her life. And visions continued at one time or another. People started gathering at the sacred stream, and this was called a sacred stream because there had been no stream there, and one day the whole village was gathered around because of the visions of the lady, and they were hoping to see what Bernadette saw. And they didn't see it, but the lady told Bernadette to wash her face in the stream, and Bernadette said, "Well, I can't see a stream." And the lady told her where the stream was, and there was only earth there. So Bernadette went and washed her face in the earth, and everybody laughed at her. But then, as the crowds were sort of laughing it off and walking away and thinking it was all a big scam, a river suddenly started, it sprung up, just a little trickle of water, and it very quickly grew into a little stream. And people from the village started going to this stream for healing, and finding that the healing worked. The story is that there was a baby who'd actually passed away, had actually gone to the spirit world, and, you know, the baby's body had died. And the distraught mother took the baby to the stream, put the baby into the stream, and the baby started kicking and came back to life. And ever since then, that stream is still there in France. Ever since then, pilgrims have been going there, you know, making it a pilgrimage. And of course, during the pandemic, that hasn't been possible for people to keep doing that. There are still priests there. And the thing is, it has become a real big sort of Roman Catholic place of pilgrimage. And there's two ways to look at that. You could say, you know, the Roman Catholics have taken it over. Or you could say, you know, it's a real thing, because talk of the Immaculate Conception, which is what really got them interested, is something that the Roman Catholic Church follows very carefully. But what do you think? I think this is one of those situations where it depends what you think and how you feel about it. I'm very happy to see Bernadette as Saint Bernadette. She clearly is very powerful from the spirit realms. She offers great healing. She offers great light, great love to anybody who prays to her and asks for her help. You know, she will help. She's helped me so many times. And she's also a great spirit guide, and as a medium I can't help seeing that side of it as being really important and quite authentic. Saint Bernadette, and here is what she looks like. I've said before she's my BFF, which is a bit of a disrespectful thing to say, I suppose, but she is really my best kind of friend in the spiritual world of ascended masters and people who channel holy knowledge. This is a picture of her. She lived her life in the 19th century, when it was, you know, that means sort of 18 something, and she passed away, and something like 25 years after her death, they exhumed her body, and it hadn't actually changed, it hadn't corrupted, and it still hasn't to this day. It's on display in a glass case in the monastery, the convent, in Lourdes in France, where she actually served her life, her mission as a nun, as it were. So yeah, Bernadette Soubirous, Saint Bernadette, what a lady, and a very humble lady as well. She was troubled by illness right the way through her life. So with that, I did say I'd do some more tarot cards, okay? And we are channeling that divine light, which no matter what priests and people like that might tell you, is actually for real, is actually all the same source. It really is all the same source. So I'm shuffling this deck a lot now, because the cards are all kind of in the same order that they came in. First one out, it's the Two of Pentacles. This is a very interesting expression of it. It's kind of done with the manufacturer's name on it as well, Fabrique par Heraclio Fournier Vittoria. So that is actually, you know, because it is printed by Fournier and they put the printer's name, the manufacturer's name on there. But it's the Two of Pentacles. We can actually see some blooms coming from these pentacles. So things are coming into bloom. It's Pentacles energy, which is always good stuff, always shows that the magic is coming in, always shows that financial things could be going better than we think they are as well. And, you know, it's always the case at this time if you're around the festive season. And if you're watching in the future, I apologise for sort of getting out of sync with whatever time zone you're in now. But the festive season will come again. It comes quicker every year. As you get older, each year takes a bit less time to come past. And I think that's because each year is a slightly smaller percentage of your whole life experience when you look back on it. Because every year you're that year older. But we don't want to think about getting old, goodness me, no. But life is a balancing act, and there's a great deal of balance going on here. We've actually got this S shape wrapped around the Two Pentacles, holding them tight. Now, there is a juggling situation going on, no doubt. And if you pick this card, this really is all about that juggling situation. But you're going to be able to cope with it, okay? And good things are going to flow from it, as we see with the flowers coming out of this card. So there we go. The number 2 of Pentacles from the ancient Tarot of Marseilles. That is what it's all about. This is what it's going to be all about next. Let's have a shuffle again and see where we get. I'm the world's worst shuffler, that's why I'm doing it down here. If you've seen Celtic Tarot Sheila, she just sort of goes, and it's done. But I take my time because I'm really ham-fisted and I just drop the cards everywhere if I don't take my time. What have we next? It's another Pentacles card. It's the 7 of Pentacles here. So this is a great second card, actually. We've come on from the slight confusion indicated in the 2 of Pentacles to much further on in the Pentacles journey. This is looking great, okay? This is card number 2. If you picked card number 2, this is the card for you. If you're actually taking all 5 of them, then this is it's the immediate future. It's the way things are shaping up. And what was I going to say? I was going to say this about Christmas and the festive season, and I went off point. People tend to sort of worry that there won't be enough money around for Christmas, and sadly for a great many people, that is very true and a very harsh reality. But I'm thinking back to when I had my eBay shop, And I'm also thinking of sort of doing online readings, which I do all the time. And if you'd like a reading, by the way, send me an email and we'll arrange a private reading for you for a smallish fee. Also, possibly a natal birth chart, if that's what you'd like. We will arrange that for you, no problem at all. Give me a shout on my email address, which is down there. Also down there is a link to my Ko-fi page, or Coffee, I'm not sure, it's Ko-fi, and you can kind of have a look at the picture gallery, which I'm always adding to, of kind of life and the universe and everything as it shows itself around here. But yeah, Christmas. People tend to have a bit more money put away than they really need, and that even then they feel they haven't put enough money away. And what happens sort of early January, maybe into February, is internet sales go mad, and I was astonished. I expected a Christmas rush when I was selling on eBay, but that Christmas rush actually went on until the second week in January without fail, sometimes longer. And I thought, that's mad, it's not Christmas anymore, why is there a Christmas rush? And it's because people had hung on to their resources and they'd actually come through Christmas and had a bit of money left over, and then they'd treat themselves to something. So, Seven of Pentacles, there's going to be more money than you imagine. I think that's what we're seeing here. We've kind of come past the idea of the balance of things. We are into kind of steady progress with work as well. So I'm not saying you're just going to get money out of the sky for nothing. It's going to have to be worked for, or, you know, there's going to have to be some kind of exchange of energy for that money to come in. But it's a magic number. It's a Pentacles card. It's looking pretty good. It really is. Okay, so I'll do some more ham-fisted shuffling and we'll see what we get next. And it is, come here. It is the Eight of Wands. Right, very fast moving. Which way? You can. There's a little number down in the corner here, so that's how you know that it's at the bottom. See that number 8 in Roman numerals there? Okay, crossed over wands. So it's a bit of a tangled web, but the thing is, there's nothing we can do to stop the progress. And would we want to stop the progress? Why on earth would we want to stop progress? Well, we want things to slow down a bit. Now, if you picked card number 3, that's what's going on for you guys. There's so much happening, stuff you can't stop, but it's all good. It's all progress and it's all getting things done. If you picked all 5 cards, this is the heart of the matter. This is what it all relates to. Okay, and this is kind of slightly longer term future as well, but you're going to see results. Basically, that is what the Eight of Wands is all about. Don't know what the Eight of Swords is about. I can't remember right this minute. I hope it doesn't come up next, actually, because then I'm going to look a right nana. But I'm going to look that up. Okay. One thing about the progress in the Eight of Wands. Although in some ways there's nothing you can do about things, and it's actually all going the right way and it's fast progress, there's no harm in kind of relearning something that you've forgotten, like in my case. What does the Eight of Swords mean? Okay, let's fan the deck and bring one out the middle for card number 4. This is for you if you picked it. Card number 4, that is. If it's all 5, it's your kind of, it's where things are going next, you know. And we've got Valet de Coupe in French. In other words, the Page of Cups. Now, the Page of Cups is a very hopeful character, has a lot of potential in seeing the good in things. And even when he can't see the good in things, or she, the Page of Cups is always willing to go forward and keep going. The cups are all about what you hope for, what you long for, what you desire. It must be coming close because we're actually into the court cards now in the cups suit. So that is very positive. But even if you don't kind of know what's going on, and the page is looking into the cups, looking rather perplexed here, as if the page doesn't actually know what it's all about or what's happening. But nevertheless, he's walking on. You see the way his legs are. He's actually walking. He's keeping moving. So you will be keeping moving, I've no doubt. And goodness me, that, you know, we always keep moving. That's a fact. Life is change. Sometimes it's unwelcome change, but life really is change. So I hear you ask, what is card number 5, Andy? Let's just fan the deck again. Oh, I haven't shuffled it. I'm going to shuffle these some more. Just haven't done anything like enough shuffling to get this deck nice and random yet. It's clear, pure deck energy. This hasn't been kind of defiled by readings and stuff. What have we got? Okay, we have got right now. Is that the? Yeah, that is in fact the King of Swords here. Okay, so big decisions to make. And this is what happens when you start making progress. And this is how it relates to the Eight of Swords, which was the middle card. If you pick this card on its own, then it is really an ability to get decisions made. And if you're concerned about it, there's a male energy somewhere around you who can explain things in detail, help you understand the situation a bit more. When I say a male energy, it doesn't have to be a man. It's an energy of power. It's an energy of experience. So ask for that guidance if you need it. Someone said the other day, I always give a different meaning to the same cards on every reading. And that is very true. That is because I'm a psychic medium, and this is the way I was taught to read the tarot. So that's what we're looking at here. Get some advice if you need it. But basically, you know, to really go to the true meaning of this card that pretty much everyone agrees with, the decision is going to get made and there's power behind it. Okay, that suggests it's going to go the right way. I can't promise that, but the decision is going to get made and life is change. So life will keep moving on. And that is the way it's going to go. I'm sure it is. Okay, gang, well, that is it for today's video. Thank you very, very much for joining me. Thank you very, very much for watching. Leave me a comment, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and ring the bell, tap the bell, so you don't miss anything. You've got to choose all notifications, or YouTube will just kind of show you, like, anything it wants to show you instead of me, basically. So if you want to be in touch, tap that bell, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. It only takes a couple of seconds and it helps the channel out so much. I cannot tell you, because the algorithm kind of says, you know, people are watching this guy. Let's help him get the word out. So that's how it works. Leave me a comment. We will share the journey. And do visit the Ko-fi page, the coffee page, or whatever it is, Ko-fi. If you type, no, you don't have to type anything in. The link is down there with all the other stuff in my links. Links to all the other good stuff as well. My Facebook, my Instagram, my Reddit, which I hardly ever do anything on. But Facebook and Instagram, I'm always putting astrology posts on there. I very often put pick a card visual readings on those as well, where you can just kind of choose a card and the meaning comes along after. I love this pick a card thing because it allows you to be your own psychic, and that is where the power really rests. To do everything I said about St. Bernadette today, everything I've said about divine energy, you know, not what we got in those Keepers of the Light cards at the beginning. It all points to you, the psychic. You really have sovereignty over your own life that way. So hang on to that sovereignty. Anyway, I digress. Links to great things down below there. Leave me a comment, thumbs up, like, subscribe, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks again for watching. Love, light, blessings, and peace.